The air inside Everett's rare finds didn't just smell like paper. It smelled like time. It was 1954, and the shop was a sanctuary of mahogany shelves and the low, rhythmic hum of a radiator that struggled against the brisk New York autumn. Julian worked there not for the modest paycheck, but for the silence. He liked the way the dust motes danced in the shafts of afternoon light, appearing like tiny golden galaxies. He was currently perched on a rolling ladder, organizing a shipment of poetry, when the bell above the door gave a bright, brassy chime. In walked a woman who looked like she had been painted by a jazz record. She wore a swing coat the color of a deep plum and a small pillbox hat tilted just so. She didn't head for the bestsellers or the travel guides. She walked straight to the back, toward the philosophy section, where the shadows were longest. Julian climbed down, smoothing his wool vest. "Can I help you find something specific? Or are you just hiding from the wind?" She turned, and her eyes were the color of well-steeped Earl Grey. She held a slim volume of Rilke. "I think the wind followed me in," she said, her voice a soft alto. "I'm looking for something that feels the way Gershwin sounds. Does that make sense?" Julian felt a strange skip in his chest, like a needle jumping a groove. Blue? Energetic? Or just a little bit lonely? "All of the above," she whispered. The search for a feeling. For the next hour, the rest of the world, the honking yellow cabs on Fifth Avenue, the Cold War headlines, the rush of the city, simply ceased to exist. Julian led her through the labyrinth. He showed her a first edition of The Great Gatsby, pointing out the cadence of the final sentences. She showed him a collection of sonnets she'd carried since college, the margins filled with penciled notes in a cramped, elegant hand. "I'm Clara," she said, leaning against a shelf of ancient history. "Julian, I've lived here 3 years, and I've never seen someone navigate the unresolved longing section so efficiently." "Is that what this is?" She gestured to the shelf. "I thought it was just fiction." "In this shop, we categorize by temperament," Julian joked, though his heart was hammering. They sat on the floor in the corner, surrounded by the towering walls of books. He told her about his dream of writing a play that didn't have an ending, because life rarely did. She told him about her job at the UN, translating words that often felt like they were losing their soul in the process. A quiet intersection. As the sun began to dip, casting long, amber shadows across the floorboards, the intimacy of the space deepened. There is a specific kind of magic that happens between two people who love the same silent things. "Do you believe in it?" Clara asked suddenly, looking at a copy of A Farewell to Arms. "In what? That a book can change the trajectory of a person's life?" Julian looked at her. The light was hitting the curve of her cheek, and for a moment, he felt as though he were standing on the edge of a great height. "I think a person can be a book," he said softly. "One you've been looking for without knowing the title." The silence that followed wasn't heavy, it was expectant. Julian reached out, his fingers brushing the wool of her sleeve. It was a daring move for a Tuesday in 1954, but the air in the shop felt charged with a private electricity. The last chapter of the day. The clock on the wall struck 6. Mr. Everett would be coming by to lock up soon. Clara stood, brushing the dust from her coat, a look of soft regret crossing her face. "I have to go," she said. "The 6:15 train won't wait, even for Gershwin." Julian stood quickly, his mind racing. He didn't want her to become just another ghost in the aisles. He grabbed the Rilke book she had first picked up. "Wait," he said. He took a pen from behind his ear and scribbled something on the inside back cover. Not his phone number, but a date and a time. Friday, 6 p.m., the corner of 52nd and Broadway. He handed it to her. A gift from the shop. Clara opened the cover, read the note, and a slow, radiant smile spread across her face. She didn't say yes, but she didn't have to. She tucked the book under her arm and headed for the door. At the threshold, she paused. "Julian?" "Yes?" "I think the ending of your play should be this. Two people meeting in a bookstore, and then they just keep meeting." The bell chimed again as she stepped out into the crisp evening. Julian stood in the center of the shop, the smell of old paper suddenly replaced by the faint, lingering scent of jasmine and the terrifying, wonderful feeling of a new story beginning.